This film had me at Christina Milian. The moment I saw she was in it, sign me up. Not even a question. Definitive yes for me. Straight up. Then let's jump into the review of her new film right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the film Resort to Love, which is going to be releasing on Netflix July 29th. Now, I love me some Christina Milian, a product of the DMV here in the Washington D.C. area. She's a Maryland native, so am I. And just been a long time fan of hers. But I got to be honest, I was wondering, like, where's she been at? Like, where have she been? Musically wise, but the fact that she's in a film, I was like, hey, let me see what's up with that, along with some other notable names, which I'll come back to in a second. But yeah, check this film out, and I definitely was entertained. However, there's one thing I want to start off this review by saying is that anytime you have black love films, romance films, I'm always skeptic that they're going to just go down the same traditional routes of stereotypes and whatnot. And this film did a really good job in not doing so, except for one thing, which I'll talk about at the ending here once we get into spoilers. But overall, this film was entertaining. I had a really good time with it. The set location was beautiful. Definitely makes me want to take a trip out the country myself. And overall, the plot, I was entertained. But again, there's one element of this I will have to discuss. But Christina Milian, she plays this character Erica, who's just truly down on her luck. Definitely some bad mishaps, and what was seeming like all her dreams were coming true. She was engaged, and then her fiance just straight up left her a month before the wedding. And then in her professional career, she's an entertainer. She actually was a singer on a really hot artist. This artist is basically like Drake and Kanye mix, and everything was looking up because he was getting ready to release an album, which means if he released an album and he's of Drake caliber, then like everybody's gonna like it. And the fact that she was the primary singer in most of the tracks of the album, things were definitely on the up and up for her. However, the Kanye part of him destroyed the album, and now it's not going to be released. Now she's her love life is bad, her career is bad. What is she gonna do? Well, her best friend sets her up with a gig. Says, hey, look, because she does social media engineering and whatnot, or whatever it is with social media, she found her a gig which is going to land her to be an entertainer on a resort. So she gets a trip and a job at the same time to really help her. I think it's actually a good idea, but kind of badly executed, but we'll get to that. Because now at this resort, she is the primary singer of the entertainment set. So she will be doing all types of different whatever events that happen at this resort, including weddings, which is the bad part of this, because she has trauma from being walked out on a month before her wedding, which you could imagine. And this resort is requiring that she also sings at weddings on a resort. As they said, a lot of people pay a lot of good money to be at this resort. You got to do it. It's name of the job. So yeah, her best friend put her in a tough position because she definitely wants nothing to do with weddings and primarily love songs. Not to mention too, a very super coincidental thing happens. Well, her fiance that left out on her happens to be at this resort at the same time and is getting ready to get married. And she has to work the event. So yeah, you got her in a rock and a hard place with her ex, with some other stuff that I'll talk about in a second, and her having to do the job, and it's truly just not a good experience for her. So here's the thing with this film. Christina Milian's character Erica actually performs in it. Yes, so Christina Milian, we get to hear a really strong musical performance of her the entire time of this film, which I was surprised that they let her do. I mean, her acting is one thing, but the fact that they actually let her perform numerous times in this was definitely a surprise, and she killed it. Absolutely killed it. And I did a little bit of digging here and come to find out that Alicia Keys is the performer. is the producer of this film. So it just makes sense. It also makes sense why one of Alicia Keys' songs is one of the pivotal songs within the plot here of this story. So yeah, definitely makes sense why this all came together in the way it did. But yeah, Christina Milian is absolutely talented. We all know that from the past, and she still has it. And she really put a super strong performance here, both acting, which, you know, I'll come back to the acting one second, but musically, she killed it. But with the acting part, you know, yes, it was strong at times, it was corny at times, but it also really is consistent with the cast here. You have Jay Pharoah, who, like, if you see Jay Pharoah in a project, you absolutely know it's going to be comedic. And even Jay Pharoah took a step back from his usual shenanigans. I will say that I was totally expecting a high caliber of comedy and just all sorts of things, and it wasn't. It was pretty subtle. So, you know, the scenes where they have to be with each other, they complimented each other okay. And then you had Sinqua Walls, who from Power, is the other wild card factor in this as well. Okay, he plays this character Caleb, which happens to be the brother of Jay Pharoah's character Jason. Jay Pharoah, as I said, his character Jason is her ex-fiancé. Caleb meets Erica on a resort and didn't know that they were related to, he wasn't related to Jason. So it was kind of like a, oh snap, like they're clicking, but it's like, oh snap, like you're brothers. I've heard of you, but I've never met you while they were together, and you, because he was away in the military, and you're the brother of my ex-fiancé. So like, clearly what was once looking promising shouldn't be, because I mean, in the world of sloppiness and temptation and whatnot, this is definitely not the path that you want to go down. Like this reeks trouble all the way around it. By the way, with Sinqua's performance here, it definitely brought a little bit of balance to everything, because like at times where the film wanted to get really comedic and really silly, it kind of really still kind of kept a very subtle tone overall. But like, yeah, again, the movie, it had emotions, because it was a cute love story, and again, the strong performances and the performances, the musical performances as well. And then, yeah, like I said, it was corny, fun, but entertaining, and like it had good balance. And like when it came down to the meshing of characters and trying to feel the passion between them, wasn't totally convinced with anybody's relationship thing going on here, but it worked, I guess, for the tone of the film. But here, let's go to the spoiler stuff here. So Caleb is like playing this very stereotypical character that I hope that they did not go down this route, and they did, full tilt. He's playing White Knight, where he's just like, well, you know, I just want to protect you. I don't want my brother to make any mistakes before his wedding night, before his wedding day, or do anything on his wedding night that he will regret. And basically saying, like, I don't want my brother to fall back in love with you, regardless of the past and misunderstanding or whatever it may be. So I'm here to protect you, but also still kind of hitting on her. And while she's super vulnerable, he's definitely trying to move in any possible way he can. I mean, he even did, like, he did something so stereotypical. I was just like, God, he's cheesy. Like, it just makes no sense. He went full tilt on the full night stuff. I hated it. I hated it. It really gives a bad name for guys out here, because it's like, you shouldn't be moving in this manner. And although that they, as we see, have their happy ending, we all know it doesn't work. And maybe tell me if I'm wrong, folks, but like, we all know that the fact that like she used to be engaged to his brother, she used to be engaged to Jason, she's now dating Caleb. They still gonna have family, you know, events and whatnot, so they're still gonna have to interact with each other. And although Erica and Jason had this little resolve and got the ending and conclusion that she wanted, you know, and kind of more or less gave her blessing to like, hey, she loves you, you love her, go do your thing. We still know that even with that, with her having closure, that does not mean that you need to talk to the brother. Like, it just doesn't work. It just really doesn't work. I get it that it was kind of like fate, that they randomly met each other on the resort, but the moment that you find out that he was related to the person you was engaged to, I'm just like, this is sloppy, tacky. This is just not good. I really, really disliked that character, Caleb, and his White Knight breaking bro code road that he put on. Like, I really just wasn't digging that at all. So I don't know. Beyond that, again, the film was fun. I liked it. The musical performances were strong. That's enough to enjoy this film. Christina Milian is amazing. And just watching her character was definitely the highlight of this. And then there's other characters, that's supporting characters that I also was digging as well too. Asian Bae from Insecure is in this, and I feel like I was really channeling a lot of the same feelings he was, like, oh no, this is trouble, or this isn't good, or like all that type of stuff. I was definitely like eye to eye with him on this. But a lot of people's going to check this out because of the cast, and I think because it's definitely it's highlighting and showcasing black love. That's going to be a draw, and the fact that it didn't really go down the same stereotypical storytelling within this, like, I appreciated it, but the ending I just was not digging. I hated the white knight aspect of this. But overall, folks, I know you're going to check it out. It's on Netflix, Resort to Love. Jump in the comments, folks. Let me know your thoughts about this film. And as always, folks, stay tuned because we got more reviews coming very soon. Thank you for watching, folks.